interrupt this video to bring you a very special announcement. Hey moms and dads, do you love to watch TV by yourselves and with your kids, but hate to pay your current cable provider? Now there's a better way. Introducing Hulu, the greatest way to catch up on your favorite shows without paying the cable company. It's so easy. Just grab your remote, use the controls to reach your television and film destination, and presto! The best television experience you or your family has ever had. The streaming service is also compatible with other devices and gaming consoles. It saves time and money. Enjoy all your favorites, including Rugrats, Bob's Burgers, Dexter's Laboratory, The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack, The Powerpuff Girls, and introducing Teen Titans Go! I guess CN wanted it out of television for a while. I don't know. That's the only reason I can ever think of. Anyways, you've been paying your greedy cable company your hard-earned money for far too long. That's cash in the trash. Save your money and save the stress by starting your free trial or signing up to Hulu today. We now return you to your regularly scheduled video, already in progress. Good evening, everybody. My name is McKenna White, and welcome to another episode of the Animation Geek Out with McKenna White, where this week we have another special guest here on the show. She is a legend in the comics and the DC animated realm. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Raven. It's a pleasure to be here, McKenna. Thanks for the invite. Now, Raven, almost everyone in the DC community has been a big fan of yours, and what we want to know is the background of Raven, just to see what your life was like before, during, and after the 2003 Teen Titans series. Well, a lot of people say that because the 2003 Teen Titans series is canceled, that means that Teen Titans as a whole is over. But what they fail to realize is that there's video games, comic books, and other things that I get to be a part of, so Raven hasn't really gone anywhere for over the past few years. And before I became part of the 2003 Teen Titans series, I was actually a theater manager. I worked at Ford's Theater, and I vaguely remember working with Blossom during the production of Annie. She has the most beautiful voice that I have ever heard in my life. When she sang that "The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow" song, I was just crying, like I was just sulking. Oh, that is so beautiful. Anyways, like I said before, I was the theater manager. I didn't do anything crazy. And somebody saw my look and heard my voice. His name was Glenn Mordecami. He doesn't like me dropping his name, but that's the truth. So he saw me and he was like, wow, this girl has got potential. So he went over to me and he gave me his card and he said, if you want to become part of this TV show, just so you know, you can get a big break, please let me know. Just call me up whenever you can. And so a few weeks after the production of another musical, I can't remember what it was called. It was the film adaptation of Annie. Anyway, I quit being the theater manager and I decided to call him up. And he decided to have me audition for Raven. And so that's when I debuted on the screen in the 2000s. And being a part of the 2003 Teen Titans series was a lot of fun. And that little set vision for Azarath was just incredible. To see how messed up it really is visually was a big eye-opener for me as to how some places can be very messed up in a lot. And so that was very amazing for me. Wow, Raven, that was such a great story coming from you. Now, another thing that I want to ask you, what was your overall relationship with the Titans on and off the set? Were there certain characters, particularly in the Titans, that you got along with well, that you didn't get along with too well, that you feel is misinterpreted in the show and is not really portrayed correctly compared to how they really were in real life? Ooh, that's a question I've been wanting to answer for a long time. Tara and I, we really didn't see each other eye to eye. It felt like she was out to get me from day one, and she doesn't like the fact that she isn't in the show much, and in real life she lies about as much as she does in the on set. You know, it's funny because I was actually on the show before she was, and she used to be a part of the Titans before. We just said, well, you know what, we're just gonna have to throw this girl out. We really don't like her lies, and they're just based and eventually originally she was supposed to die. You know, she was supposed to be killed off, but they begged, but she begged for her to stick around just for one more episode, just to see how she's changing. And so and yeah, somebody was like sweet talking to the director, and then they made her into the schoolgirl in the Things Change episode. Robin is pretty much the prima donna in real life. He's not all that sweet. Once you get to know him up close and personal, he'll always say that he's superior to you, and he doesn't have any time to rehearse with you, even though he recites his lines. He will improvise with his movements, and I will admit some actors have that skill, and he's one of them, but overall, I don't think he's one of those people that I would call back or call during Christmas time, if you know what I mean. Beast Boy, he's not as annoying in real life as he is on the set. I will admit that some of his jokes are funny, and we're pretty much trying to make a relationship, but overall, I I'm just trying to figure out how this would work. Cyborg, he's okay. He's an okay person. He can be mean to me from time to time, but overall, he's just a very decent person. Starfire, oh, she is just one of the sweetest girls that I've ever met. And she's actually one of those people that I had an on set and off set relationship with as friends. She always calls me friend Raven. She respects me, and she is just very, very nice. And I would oblige to come with her to the shopping mall a lot. And, you know, watching her mature over the years, it's a real treat. And you know what? We've become best friends ever since. That's good to hear, Raven. It's nice to see that not everybody rubbed you the wrong way during the Teen Titans tapings. And speaking of Starfire, what was she trying to do with you guys to celebrate your return to television? Well, since Starfire learned that we were not allowed to drink until we're at age 21, she had this brilliant idea of pouring apple juice in champagne glasses. Everybody, she asked everyone if it was a good idea. Almost like all of us were saying yes, but Robin was just like no. And then I said to him, so the majority votes the most and the minority gets the least, so he doesn't have a choice but to accept the offering of apple juice in the champagne glass. Everybody, almost like Cyborg, me, and Beast Boy, thought it was a good idea. Robin didn't think so, and so she decided to five pour some apple juice on 5 champagne glasses for us, and she was kind enough to give them to us. Like, we were saying thank you. Robin was not one of these people who's just grateful. He She handed him a glass, and when he was drinking it, he accidentally spilled it in his super suit, and like he was just yelling at her, and she was crying while she was being yelled at by him. And so, to defend her, because she's my best friend, I yelled at him 10 times louder, and that sent him into his room crying. And Beast Boy was just on the floor laughing. On the floor laughing, and I was like, "What, dude? Why are you laughing? This is a serious thing." And Beast Boy was all like, "Oh, Robin's just a crybaby." That's not cool, really. And Cyborg, he was still all just standing there, just enjoying his drink. He didn't have any problems, so yeah, he was okay. Wow. Sounds like you really had a really rough time trying to celebrate your return to television. So I wanted to ask you, with the homecoming dance coming in about a week, do you, just in my school, do you have any advice for anyone who is going to a homecoming dance in their school this year? Oh my gosh, I think I've danced with Beast Boy before. My overall advice to anyone who is coming to a homecoming dance in their school this year is don't do any dirty dances. It's gonna make the adult chaperones so uncomfortable. And if you keep doing it, you're just gonna have to be asked to leave. And just if you want to wear some fancy clothing, go ahead, whatever's your fancy. Just make it formal or make it semi formal if the school allows it. But if you want, like, just overall advice, just try to act cool when you're around people. Don't be shy. Don't be, like, Fluttershy or any of other those ponies that can be very shy when he or she is in public. Um, well, I guess that's all the advice that I have. I really like the dirty dancing part. Not many youngsters in this generation know this, but dances such as grinding, if you're gonna do this dance in public, you're really gonna get yourself into trouble. But let's get back to some fun. Um, can you tell us about that special spell that you do in the show? Well, it's a grouping spell that I've been using quite frequently, both in the original show and Teen Titans Go, and also in the comics. It's kind of almost like one of my favorite spells ever. Will you perform that special spell in the studio live? Absolutely. A few weeks ago, I heard Jimmy Neutron call for Goddard in the studio, and I also heard him say "Gotta Blast" to end that episode off. So why can't I do my special spell? First, I gotta focus my energy and stay focused. Focus. Azarath Metreon Zenthos! Thank you so much for coming on to the show, Raven. Anytime, McKenna. It's a great pleasure to talk with you. Well, that is it for this episode of the Animation Geek Out with McKenna White. As always, if you would like to see who is next on the show, then all you have to do is take a quick look at the silhouette at the front of your screen and comment down below who you think these silhouettes represent. Now, this time there are 3 silhouettes on the front of your screen, so this may symbolize that for the first time we are having more than one special guest here on the show. That concludes this episode of the Animation Geek Out with McKenna White. Please feel free to subscribe, like, and comment, and I will see you guys next time. Until then, this is McKenna White saying, with great wisdom comes great responsibility. Good night, everybody.